It's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Listen, let's go ahead and get into this reunion for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Honey, girl, let's talk about it. All right, y'all. What's up? What's up, Angel Eyes? I hope I said that right. What's going on, everybody? I hope y'all got into this reunion as I did. Child, this is some BS, okay? What's up? What is this? Durga? I hope I said that right. Please forgive me. What's going on, you guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you come in, please be sure to hit that like button as we talk about these ladies of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, okay? What's going on? What pulls my teeth? Yolanda, Nerlene, okay? Sharita, Sasha, what's up? What is up, y'all? Thanks for coming in and joining me tonight, okay? Yes, from Nassau. Did I say it right? Nassau, Bahamas. What's going on, honey? Okay. All right, y'all. Let's hop into this thing real quick. All right. So it's funny that they gave us this quick little sit down between Lisa and Erika. I'm like, why is y'all giving us sit down? Like, what is that about? Thank you so much, Kimberly. I appreciate that. Thank you, boo. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Mira. Yes. And you watched it twice. Child, I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie. I fell asleep right when they was getting ready to get to Sutton. And then I had to wake back up and watch it again, honey. Okay. Because your girl was just that tired. Okay. Yeah, you know, Dorito gonna always come to piss the girls off. Unfortunately. Thank you so much, Nerlene. I appreciate that. Hey, Tatiana. What's going on? I don't know why they gave us this Erika and Lisa sit down or whatever. It seems like Lisa kind of I don't want to say she briefed Miss Girl, but she briefed Erika on the ladies talking SHI about her. That's what I got from the sit down between the both of them, okay? If y'all hear noise in the background, please forgive me, okay? That is definitely the washer over there running, honey. She's doing her job, okay? Garcelle, remember I did the reunion looks and I talked about how I did not like nobody's outfit? When Garcelle was sitting down, I actually kind of liked the dress as she was sitting down, okay? Because her hair definitely went with everything, okay? She looked nice, all right? Now, the set, I was confused about that set as well, and we come to find out that's the backyard, okay? That's Miss Kathy's backyard. And I said, okay, well, that was cute, I guess, but was that really a theme for the show? I don't know. I mean, it was cute for what it was. Let's get into it. Miss Erika, okay? Erika, when Andy said hey to Erika, did y'all notice that Erika just looked at him and she didn't really speak? I said, ooh, Erika not gonna speak to Andy? Okay, I guess. Erika was coming off to me as though she don't really care for Andy. Was I the only person that got that? It seemed like she don't really care for Andy at all because she was ready to go toe to toe. I don't know if she was just, you know, on the edge of her seat because of the questions that was gonna be coming at her or what, but she definitely was giving, I don't like you like that, baby. So let's go ahead and get to it. That's what it was giving me. Okay, Erika says that she's happy to answer as much as she can. I'm like, girl, bye. Of course you'll say that. Of course you'll say that. Erika speaks on wanting the victims to be made whole again, but it was weird because she kept referencing them as alleged victims. And what else did she say? His alleged misdoings. I was like, girl, that's what it is. If they like, because at this point with the reunion, right? They just shot the reunion like what, last year? Ma'am, y'all are in direct litigation and stuff. At this point, it's nothing that's alleged. Like, this is what it is. So why at this time are you referring to the victims as alleged victims and his misdoings as alleged? That didn't connect for me. I mean, like, are you afraid that Tom's going to try to sue you? How is he going to sue you or do anything like that if it's a fact of this is what's happening? They've already combed through the records. At this point, it's not about whether he did it. It's about, girl, how we finna get this money to pay these folks? I was like, Erika, girl, shut up. Okay, Andy knows the real tea, honey. I believe it. Erika was giving cold, frigid BIT. She wasn't into them at all, okay? She knew he was going to rip into it, okay? Erika knew Andy was going to start with the bullshit, and he really did. He really got right into it, and I was kind of shocked. I was like, dang, he gonna give her a few minutes. Like, he saved her for last when he went around and spoke to everybody because he was going to get into some things for sure. Okay, she says that she can understand why people would think she doesn't have sympathy, but she also says that we didn't get to experience it how she experienced it. And that's fine because we don't get to experience it how you experience it. Showing us sympathy could make us, I guess, kind of relate to you or have some type of understanding or something. And she didn't give that. So that didn't make sense to me either. All right. What else went on? Erika says that she felt disappointed, anger, and upset as she watched, throughout the season and seeing what the ladies had to say. Makes sense. You should have felt all of those feelings because you got some fake ones that are amongst you. Okay. Now, Erika says that her lawyer advised her to quit the show, but she said she wouldn't do it because she had nothing to hide. And I said, girl, you meant to say I couldn't do it because I needed this money. If they going over there into his pocket and getting all his coins and whatever else, and I can't benefit from it, and they done made his brother the conservator over him, then baby, I got to stay over here. I got to stay where the coins are coming in at. And one thing I know for sure, staying on Beverly Hills, I'm going to get at the least, I'm going to get $600,000. And I need that right about now. So that's the real reason why she stayed, even though she said that, because Andy told her, like, girl, this your only job. She said, yes, I took all of that into consideration. Right. So that was that. She also said that she wasn't a quitter, so she wasn't going to quit anything. And I'm like, okay, Erika. Erika says that she doesn't think she should be fired because, mind y'all, a lot of people felt like, Erika, girl, you gotta go. You shouldn't even be a part of the show. But I think it really was because of the victims, right? And it's unfair that she gets to go on and be able to make all this money, and these people still over there living without. Okay, so that's why people were saying that she should be fired. But she says she didn't think that she should be fired because she has not been convicted of a crime or anything. This is what Erika is saying. She hasn't been convicted of a crime, and she says we have to give the legal process the opportunity to actually play itself out. That's what she was saying. I'm like, okay then, girl, I guess I don't think you should be fired either. I will say, girl, I need to know what's going on. Okay, we need you to be on this show so that we can have a clear eye view of some of the stuff that's going on. Even though you had us on a merry-go-round with all of these different stories, okay, that you was giving us and the different bits and pieces you was adding to the story, you definitely had us confused. But overall, girl, we got to be around. We want you around so we can see what's going on. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying. I feel like the real reason she stayed was to have a hold on the narrative. She did kind of say, what was it? She said something about defending herself or speaking out for herself, okay? If she was truly blindsided, I think some other emotions would have shown. Hashtag running mascara. Listen, child, it seemed like she gonna end up talking herself into a funk on the next one. I don't know when it's going to show up in the reunion, but when Andy started asking her some questions about what she told Tom or what she asked Tom, she was like, well, I asked him, and then she took that pause because it sounds like she's about to incriminate herself in that moment. That's going to be very, very interesting. Is it me or did Erika have a bit of a different accent on the reunion? She sounded more Southern. I honestly didn't even pay attention. I didn't even pay attention to her accent. I more so paid attention to how she wanted to jump into people's conversation like Miss Lisa Rinna. Erika, your moment is coming. Sit down, girl. We're going to get to you, okay? I'm going to film a video for my YouTube, and I'm going in, especially on Dorito and Lisa. Yes, do one, Romeo. Please do one, okay? Y'all check out Romeo's YouTube channel, honey. Dorit sounded different as well. Dorit, everything, I didn't even notice it. I think just their presence irked me more than anything. And I'm going to get to Miss Dorit. Let's talk about Miss Sutton real quick. Sutton says her mom told her to not get reactive when it came to Crystal. And just understanding that they are different people. Okay, so I'm like, all right then. It seems like your mama at times when it comes to that sensitive topic got more sense than you, but that's okay. Sutton and Crystal realized that they kind of got like a lot of similarities based on what people are saying. So we'll see how they're going to be should they ever get close. I don't really see it happening. I can see them being associates on the show, but I don't think I ever really see them being friends. I don't really see that between them. But let's keep going. Sutton says that her business is growing. Y'all know Sutton ended up getting this store. She said the business is growing. And then she pointed at Miss Lisa Rinna. I said, yes, point at Lisa Rinna. Now, when she pointed at Lisa, I was more so thinking she was pointing at Lisa because y'all know Lisa got Rinna Beauty. And I'm thinking Rinna Beauty ain't really doing it. For real. That's what I'm thinking the reason why she pointed at her. But come to find out, she was trying to downplay Sutton's store and then gonna say she didn't think of the store as an actual business. What? Are you serious, girl? If she got a storefront, it's a business, ma'am. If she got inventory there, it's a business. So, Lisa just likes to discredit people for some reason, but don't you dare discredit Miss Lisa Rinna. Child, I can't. Okay, so I'm glad that Sutton told her, yes, it's a business, honey. Yes, it's a business. I said, come on, Sutton, let her know what it is. Okay. Sutton also speaks on her officially moving into her new home, and I'm glad about that because I really cringed at the fact that she was up there paying Miss Kyle. I'm glad Miss Kyle not getting another dime. Hello, I'm glad she's not getting another dime from my girl Sutton. So there's that on that. Okay, Sutton talked about living in Kyle's house and how Kyle said that she almost burned down her house because of that raggedy fireplace that Kyle got. I'm like, girl, don't put that on my girl Sutton. That's all you with this raggedy fireplace. All that money she paid, and she about overpaid you to stay in there. Go get it fixed. Okay, so they had it on the market, but had to snatch it back off the market, child. I ain't got time. Anyway, so Erika talks about how she's looking for a man with a big DIC. Okay, a big DICK. I'm like, okay then, Erika, I hope you find you one. All right. Now, Sutton boyfriend, this was interesting, child. Sutton boyfriend just up and broke up with her on the week of Valentine's. I said, oh, that is some shady stuff. I feel like, girl, he was only there for the benefits anyway, Sutton. You should, at where you are and the money that you done got from your husband or whatever you got, girl, you should just be dating around. Okay. And if somebody just happens to catch up with you at that moment and you want to lock it down and hang out with them for the rest of your life, because I don't think Sutton gonna get married again, then that's fine. But in terms of truly dating somebody, girl, bye. He was wrong for that. Gonna tell this like, I can't. I just can't. I can't. I gotta go. I gotta get out of this relationship. Girl, no man. He done been all on the TV screen and everything. Girl, no ma'am. Girl. She definitely felt the way, but I'm glad she's better now because y'all know Sutton is very sensitive. She takes things to heart very quickly. I'm sure she was highly depressed. I'm sure she felt like a failure considering the fact that she got a divorce not too long ago. And then here it is, this man was enjoying herself with. Next thing you know, he done dropped her too. So I am sure she definitely felt like a whole failure, child. Let's get to Garcelle. Let me let y'all come on in here, girl. Let's get to Garcelle. I felt the way. I felt the way about this, y'all. Sutton was like she wasn't getting married again. Yep, she said that. I don't think she should. She was handed divorce papers on her birthday. Yikes, girl, how you handed divorce papers on your birthday and then turn around and somebody dump you on the week of Valentine's? Ooh. Girl, these people ain't SHI, okay? She tried to play Sutton like, girl, bye. She did try to play Sutton. Rinna is so phony. She had her own store too. Erika's appearance is a choice strategically. Garcelle would have checked Dorit when she yelled at her. I wish Garcelle would have checked, girl, and let's talk about it because I definitely felt the way. I felt like, let me say this. I don't know if I put it in my notes, but it's on my mind now. I felt like they came at Dorit, I'm sorry, not Dorit, but Garcelle often about how she presented herself. Remember how she sat at the table and she cried because they wanted her to be open and you know, the little tug of war thing they did at the table. And I feel like because of that, that's something that made her kind of like shut down and not want to open up more based on how they may view her or whatever. And I don't like that. I'm like, be genuinely you, like go in for, you know what I'm saying? Like the jugular, like call these ladies out. Like they're not going to hold back for you. So don't hold back. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to them, give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry, you guys. I had to take care of something real quick, came back. But yeah, I just want her to just, you know, it's okay to check them because Dorit would have knew in that moment that, girl, you'll never yell at me again. You'll never yell at me again. And it's something about like a story time real quick, not real quick, but real quick. It's something about a white person for me. You know, if you're white people watching this, you know, thanks for supporting. However, girl, it's something about how y'all say stuff that'll make y'all get, you know what I'm saying? Boom. So I was at the movie theaters the other day because I went to see an early premiere of Halloween, and y'all know Miss Kyle is in that movie, and I wanted her to be, you know what I'm saying? Girl, gonna kill her. Okay. But anyway, so we sitting there, and you know, when you in the movie theaters, nobody paid for these tickets. All of these tickets were free, so everybody's in there, right? So it's me, you know what I'm saying? It's my son. It was another seat. And this white guy came up and he was like, anybody sitting there? And I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So he sat there, right? So everybody, you know, when you're watching a scary movie, it's like, don't go in there. No, go. No. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Like when I go to the movies, like I already expect that atmosphere. Actually, I don't know if it's because I'm a black person or whatever. I actually enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? Because I be having the same sentiments and I enjoy that everybody else is enjoying that with me. So I guess he got aggravated with the people to the side of him and behind him and in front of him talking. You know what I'm saying? And so he was shushing people more than one time. The first time he said, shh, I didn't really know who it was. Okay, so, you know, we're continuing to watch. You know I said some things. Some other people said some stuff, whatever. And then he said, shh, again. So then when everybody kind of went crazy at one part of the scene, he got loud. I guess he thought nobody would hear him because it was loud or whatever. And he was like, be quiet. Like, y'all just sit up there and watch the movie. Like, something like that. I said, oh. I leaned over to, you know what I'm saying? Like, leaned over where my son was, like, excuse me, like, oh, not him telling people to be quiet. Not him hushing folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you talking to, baby? Did you pay for these tickets? Let's be very clear. That seat could have been easily taken, okay? And you could have took us down to the front. So I definitely felt the way about that. So when he said that, he was like, just watch the movie, something like that. So, you know, at this point, Kyle's on the screen. I said, she finna die. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ignorant because I'm pissing him off, right? And he was like, thanks. I said, oh, you're welcome. And if you like, you can get your ass up and move to another seat. And you know, my son, he already know, he like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't like, yeah. Do you think he said anything else when we was at this theater? He didn't. He was quiet for the rest of the movie. You better be, because it's something about y'all that y'all feel like y'all could just talk to people. And I'm like, Garcelle, in that moment, you should have let Dorit know this is the last time you will ever get comfortable enough with me to think that you're going to raise your voice with me. Okay, you don't do that to these other ladies, and you're not finna do that with me. Okay, so I just had to give y'all a quick little story time, especially since it was about Halloween and Kyle was in Halloween. You know what I'm saying? So you could just see the dynamics. You know what I'm saying? So I had to just give y'all that just a real quick, like, okay. He deserved what you gave him. He did. Like, baby, how you come to it? Like, this is what happens. And then this is the crazy thing. You know, when you go to the movies, the people, the loud folks, when you go into a scary movie, where they sitting at? They sitting up top, baby. We sitting up top. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, to the middle, to up top. Like, that's where they at. So, dear, let's not, sir. Okay, you were looking for a seat. Had you gotten here early like we did, you would have already had your seat held. Okay, but let's be honest. You can go down to the front. There are plenty of seats down there. Thank you. Girl, he was out of line. And you know what I'm saying? I don't, girl. Anyway, I just had to give y'all a little story time. I had to tell y'all a little bit. But anyway, not Garcelle, but Dorit would have known in that moment, okay? So Garcelle, they're talking to her about her feeling like an outsider, okay? Garcelle was right. She says that she feels like there's an inner circle within the circle. I agree with that. I do. I feel like there is an inner circle within the circle. And the inner circle exists of Lisa Rinna, Kyle, Erika, and sometimes Dorit, right? I feel like her position is interchangeable, but you know, sometimes Dorit, I feel like there is definitely an inner circle. Okay. What else happened? Oh yeah. So I think I mentioned that, you know, I felt like they always talking about her throwing darts, yet there were no darts really thrown at the reunion because they telling her so much about how she acts with them that I think she kind of like did this at the reunion instead of, you know what I'm saying, standing in how she felt. So the lady said that they felt closer to her after she opened up. And I'm like, is it me? I kind of feel like, why she got to open up and cry tears for y'all to feel closer to her? Like, why not want to take an active interest in her and what she got going on? Like, just because you did a celebration for her birthday and stuff, and you just like, she didn't ask you for it, she wasn't expecting it. Like, just because you did that, and so, like, why not hit her up? Like, hey, Garcelle, what are you doing? Where do you want to go out and get something to eat? Like, why not try to be an active friend or try, you know what I'm saying? Try to be active at forming a relationship with her. So I didn't really like that. I feel like they could have did better in that department, right? Instead of waiting for her to cry and then y'all feel like she opened up. Anyway, so Dorit. I feel like Dorit learned a new word. I said, Dorit, did you learn some new words or something? What is this? Dorit says that Garcelle can be passive provocative. I said, what the fuck? Passive provocative? Girl, your words just be getting wrong. And then you sit up here and have a conversation about you using the wrong words, and then you're continuing to use the wrong words. I can't. Okay. So she says that Garcelle was passive provocative to be relevant. And Garcelle said, oh, no, baby. No, ma'am. She said, I don't have to do anything to be relevant. Know that, okay? I said, come on. That's one. What else you got back there, okay? Dorit brings up the jabs because I feel like she was so ready in this moment to talk, right? I felt like they were going to get to the segment between Dorit and Garcelle, but she was ready. She was ready to go in, right? So she brings it up, talks about her throwing these jabs or whatever. Garcelle tells Dorit that she needs an apology because Dorit says, I used a word that I should not have used. She said, yes, you did. And I'm going to need you to apologize for that. She's going to say, well, Dorit, Garcelle, you didn't even give me a chance to apologize. Girl, you did not want to apologize, because you would have done it sooner instead of waiting until the public saw it, and then you got scrutinized all up and down social media for the term that you chose to use, and then now you want to apologize. Girl, you had a lot of time to apologize. It was something that you didn't want to do, okay? But the apology that she did give her, it was whack. It was whack. She was like, I'm very sorry for that, but... And I'm like, no, girl, it shouldn't be a but. It should be an end of story. What do you mean? I didn't like that. So where else am I? Dorit is asked, why didn't she call? Yes. So this was a question that was asked to Dorit. They asked her, why didn't you call out Erika for her bullying actions towards like 3 or 4 different people that they named? And Dorit's response was that it was an isolated incident with Erika. I said, you make no sense. It doesn't matter if it's isolated. Girl, if you feel like this woman, Garcelle, is a bully, which none of us feel that way, because the way Garcelle comes at you is nowhere near how Erika attacks y'all at all. So Erika may exhibit some bully behavior, but I don't know why you don't want to say that about her. But okay, girl. Dorit says, oh, and then they call her out about painting a picture about her being an angry Black woman. And she says, oh, that's not a, picture that I was trying to paint or anything like that. Dorit follows it up with that apology, but then she also follows the apology up with a but, okay? Rinna chimes in, which was interesting, and it bothered me too with Lisa. Like, Lisa, sit there and wait your turn. Continue to dangle with your little bracelets or whatever, girl, and just wait your turn. And I love when Garcelle said, Rinna, please, girl, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get there, okay? But Lisa was so ready for whatever reason. What else? Dorit says that Garcelle says a lot in the confessional, but won't say it in her face. And I'm confused because I'm like, okay, so that's what we're doing. When in the season, you said that she was taking jabs at you directly. This is what you're saying. But then you turn around and say that she was talking mess in the confessionals, which is something that all of y'all do. So which one is it? A passive provocateur or whatever you want to say, but then she's also taking jabs. Like, is she direct or not direct? And that's what Andy ended up asking her. And I can't even remember what she said. She said something like, yeah, but she says things, but she says it with a smile or whatever. Girl, it don't matter how she gonna say it because you're gonna feel away anyway. What else? Yeah, what else? Lisa tells Garcelle that she does it the most, right? So when they talk about the confessional, Lisa says that she agrees with Dorit. She feels like Miss Garcelle is very passive or whatever, right? And then Garcelle's like, girl, no, I don't. Andy says all of y'all do it in the confessionals, right? Which they do. All of them on every single housewife show, every single one of them. They say things in the confessionals that they did not say in the moment. Now, I don't know if it's because they weren't thinking in the moment. They weren't, as reactive as they needed to be in the moment. But once they watch the show and they're doing their confessionals, they say some slick stuff, okay? So everybody does it. Lisa tells Garcelle, yeah, but you do it, but I think you do it the most. And I think that you feel comfortable doing it the most. And I said, girl, you've been on the show longer than her. So how is she the one that's more comfortable talking stuff in the confessionals when that's you? That's what you've been doing. You were very comfortable with talking in the confessionals, in my opinion, because you brought absolutely nothing while you were on this show the whole time. The only thing you gave us was some dresses in your garage for your daughters. Like, that's it. That was really all that we really got from you. So, girl, bye. Dorit, for me, she was contradicting herself a lot, saying that saying that Garcelle wasn't being direct, and then turn around and said that she was being direct by throwing jabs. And I was confused because I'm like, well, which one is it, dear? Which one is it? What is it going to be? Question, didn't Lisa call Garcelle a bitch in her confessionals, but she will never say it to her face? You know what? I think she did call her a BIT. When Dorit and Garcelle got into it again at her house, and she was sitting, I think it was at Kathy's house or something. I don't know who house it was at, but they got into it. And I think Erika and Lisa were sitting together, and Erika said, I think you want to step in. And Lisa said, no. I think that's when she called her a BIT in the confessional. I think so. I would love to see Dorit have the same energy with Kathy about jabs. She did some of the same things Garcelle did to her this season, but she's too much of a social climber to rock that boat. Of course, she's not going to do that. Garcelle should have brought a jar of sauce and gave it back to Lisa. She's hilarious. White women feel like you should be grateful for the crumbs they give you. Garcelle should have been grateful that they threw her a party and bought her expensive gifts. Yikes. I don't want those type of friends, girl. I'm supposed to be just grateful whatever you give me and then turn around and just welcome you back in. No, ma'am. And that conversation ends up coming up about trust and Garcelle feeling like she doesn't trust Lisa. And Lisa was like, well, why didn't you tell me that? And I said, I could have sworn she told you that. It was the night when they got into it, when Sutton and Crystal got into it. I could have sworn y'all had to sit down in the room and you wanted to get back, friends with her or whatever. And she was telling you that it was going to take time. I could have sworn she told you right in that moment that she didn't really trust you or she had trust issues or something like that. I could have sworn that came out of Garcelle's mouth, but okay. It was interesting to see Crystal trying to jump into this conversation because she says that Garcelle took a jab at her in the confessional. And I'm like, okay, Crystal, that was pointless because that's not what we're talking about. See, Dorit didn't know what she was saying and she was contradicting her stuff and she was just trying to pull things out of her ASS just so she can have something to go at Miss Garcelle with or have some examples. So she used the confessional as one when all of y'all, that's how it goes, Miss Crystal, on the shows. The ladies are going to talk trash in the confessionals, okay? It's a part of the entertainment, all right? Dorit is about to speak up. Okay, she's about to speak up about them being at the table and everybody chiming in on Sutton and Miss, what's her name, Garcelle. And she's about to chime in on that, and Garcelle not saying anything about the Sutton situation, right? Garcelle tells her, you don't know. How would you know about this when you weren't even there? And then this is when Dorit yells at her, Garcelle, let me finish. Let me finish, Garcelle. You've tried to cut me off for the second time, and I'm going to get my point across. Girl, she wouldn't have had anything else to say, okay? Because I really would have got loud with her at that point. Girl, I guess ain't nobody finna talk then. Because you're not finna talk to me like that, ma'am. And to be honest, Dorit, you have been talking the whole time, though. You've been talking the whole time. And then now when Crystal done said something to trigger your memory, you want to bring that up, which is actually, in my opinion, is relevant. Now, although I do kind of agree with Dorit on Garcelle, like if you're Team Sutton, you should have checked them in the moment being a friend of Sutton. Yes, I agree. But I also feel like that's not your beef, Dorit. That's Sutton's beef. Okay, if Sutton truly felt the way about it, Sutton should have addressed that with her friend. That's Sutton's beef. And once again, I just don't think that's the passive provocative thing. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I feel like that's her not trying to be provocative or whatever the term is. She's not trying to do any of that because she's just decided to withhold her opinion in that moment. So she doesn't, get into an argument match with you ladies. Yeah. So what else? Garcelle says she doesn't know why she's bringing it up because she wasn't there. I agree with Garcelle once again. That means that Dorit had absolutely no legs to stand on and she needed a moment and she was reaching and pulling from whatever direction she could get it from. Okay. So that's what she was doing. All right. Garcelle says she is okay with Dorit. And this is another thing that bothered me too. Garcelle said that she's okay with Dorit and she doesn't have an issue with her. It's okay to say that you do, right? I don't know where even if I would have just told Andy, I don't know where I am with her right now. I'm not sure where I am with her right now. We'll see how that's going to play out at a later time. You know, like she's disrespected me on more than one occasion. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with being honest with that. Letting her know she's disrespected me on more than one occasion. I understand she's apologized for the bully comment. She just yelled at me as if as if I'm not here to, you know, speak my piece as well. Like I would have just laid a few things out when it came to Miss Dorit and would have told Andy, I don't know where we are. I'm not saying that I don't like her, but I am saying that I don't know where we are with this friendship at this time. Like it just could have been that simple, in my opinion. Kyle is scared of us black folks. She is afraid she will say the wrong thing. I think that could be the case for all of them. I think that could be the case for all of them. And if that wasn't the case for Sutton, I feel like Sutton could have possibly learned. Garcelle should have come with more smoke without getting too hood, because that's the reaction they wanted. Exactly. And I liked her tone of how she kept things. And see, that's another reason why I made Dorit look like a fool, because her tone, she wasn't loud. She wasn't yelling. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, she kept the same tone throughout. It's just the fact that she could have been a bit more stern in things that she said. Okay. But when you got loud with me, and if it's okay for her to do it, then obviously it's okay for me to do it. So I don't want nobody to be out here and be scared and be no punk when I start using these vocal cords on y'all. Let's see what else. Kyle was quiet the whole time. I think she knows Garcelle is the fan favorite and she didn't want the backlash. She was definitely quiet. She was definitely quiet. I don't know if she was saving her vocal cords for the screaming match she probably gonna get into with Erika or something, or the disagreements she's gonna have with Erika. But I will say I really appreciated the fact that Kyle was quiet, because all of the other ladies on the other side of the couch was hopping in, honey. I was really glad that Kyle was like on mute and kept it cute. There is also a level of envy with Rinna and Dorit towards Garcelle because she's a fan fave, 0 plastic surgery, and has jobs. Okay, successful. Dorit went off on Kyle like that earlier this season, but couldn't handle when Kyle told her not to speak to her that way. Dorit can't handle the truth. Agreed. She got up and she exit stage left. She immediately left. She was done with the conversation. And I just don't think that's fair. Like, no, ma'am. I would have went into point. What? I would have went into the point. Andy would have gotten scared and called security. Ooh, child. Okay. They making me want to try that sauce. Oh, some of the sauce by Rinna's husband. Like, isn't it stores or something like that? Is that in stores? I know she gave one to Andy. Harry gonna sell the sauce or no? He need to sell it, child. Might as well. All this energy over Garcelle saying we need to give you a timer, when the whole cast has been saying the same thing for multiple seasons. And I ain't even been watching all the seasons to know. They've been saying it quite a few times, right? So she talks a lot. Yes, I love when she told Dorit, I show up, period, okay? And does. Everybody shows up. They give to the show. Everybody shows up and do their part, okay? So let's get to Lisa and Garcelle. Lisa says Garcelle has expectations of her. Probably so, because you guys were friends for a very long time, okay? And you came sideways at one of her friends, so she want to see you probably do a little better. Garcelle speaks on Lisa Rinna doing things, for her birthday. Garcelle opens up about how she doesn't trust, and Erika asks, should she stop doing it? Now, this is what also I didn't like. It makes me feel like Garcelle wasn't prepared for this reunion in person, even though she was a part of the reunion last year and it was virtual. It's like, girl, were you not prepared? Like, I'm starting to see on your face that you probably are over the show, which makes sense if you are reconsidering about coming back next year, because you probably just can't deal with these ladies if you're continuing to feel like you're an outsider. Let's see. But Erika asked if Lisa Rinna should stop trying. I feel like Garcelle should have said if she desires, right? If she desires to stop trying, yes, go ahead. You know, I'm not going to tell her how she needs to move or how she needs to handle a friendship that she wants to have. Now, if it's something I'm not doing and I really want this friendship, I'll step up. I'll do my part, X, Y, and Z. However, okay, that's going to be up to Lisa to make the decision on whether or not she wants to stop. And I feel like if it's really genuine and you're really trying to be somebody's friend, then maybe you wouldn't stop. You know, but I also understand the fact where it's like, girl, people gonna get tired of trying if they not getting anything else in return. You know, showing that this is like a mutual friendship. So there's that. Erika asks if she wants to punish her for the actions towards Denise, and Garcelle says no. I can't say that she is or she isn't, but I think that Garcelle does still kind of feel a way about how she did Denise. Because yeah, I'm gonna look at you sideways. If this has been your good Judy before I even came on the show, and you decide to go sideways with her, yes, it's going to be hard for me. Because that's one thing about me, just in general as a person. When I see how you move, I just sit back and I observe and I watch, and then I begin to distance myself if I don't really like how you operating. And maybe it's unfair to the other person because I don't, let them know like, yo, I don't like how you move here or there. But sometimes I feel like people show you enough to know how to move with them. So if you were to try to correct them, they only gonna get it together for that moment. But what you seen is who they are. So there's that. Garcelle says she's over it, right? And Lisa Rinna says that she was glad that she's over it. Garcelle said that she got over it like right now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Garcelle, you're not arriving how I need you to arrive, okay? Something is off and I don't like it, okay? Lisa Rinna says that she didn't like that she brought up Denise because, girl, we filmed for 4 months. This whole time you never brought her up and you wait to the very last scene to bring this woman up. And for her to do that made me, and it's not so much as for her to bring up Denise. For me, it's so much as them showing it to us because a lot of things come up that they don't show us. So for them to show this to us, it made me wonder, could Denise possibly be considered for coming back in the next season? Is that possible? I'll take Denise, even though I haven't, seen her, but I'll take Denise over Rinna because Rinna's not giving anything. But if y'all are going to keep Rinna, I hope that Denise is open and willing to negotiate that contract and come back and give her a run for her money. I feel like Denise being on the show, Sutton being on the show, I feel like Garcelle will feel more comfortable to know that she may have her quote unquote clique, right? But I also feel like they need to add another Black woman on this show as a friend of the show. Absolutely. And I feel that way because white women, and it's no shade to y'all, but white women ain't the only folk out there living lavish like they're living in Beverly Hills. So I think that they need to make diversity amongst all of these casts, to be honest. Okay. Even if they added a white person down to Potomac and ATL, but I tell you one thing, for some reason they can't hang too much. Especially Miss Zoliak. She couldn't hang too much down there in ATL, honey. So, child. Anyway, all right, y'all need to be a little more we need to get at least 2 more. Get 1 more friend of the show, please. Okay. There's that. Let's move on. Okay. I think I said that. I feel like Garcelle was looking like she's over this job. And if she didn't come back, she'll be okay with just doing the real, period. Garcelle expected Lisa would have spoke up more often for her because there was more than one occasion. I think she mentioned how she didn't say anything at the Rinna Beauty event when Dorit came for her, called her a bully. She sat there and shut up. Then Rinna didn't speak up for her when she was sitting at the table with Miss Girl, Erika. Erika told her to speak up. She said no. Right? So that was the issue. She wanted her to speak up more. And then Lisa said, well, that's because I agree with Dorit more than I agree with you. Noted. Gotcha. Okay. Sutton calls out Lisa. Shout out to Sutton. Okay. Sutton calls out Lisa and speaks on Lisa not having her back either. Okay. And that's when Lisa decides to kind of like defend her statement or whatever she said. I don't even know what she said in response to Sutton, but it wasn't like well, that's because I agree with Dorit more than I agree with you. It wasn't one of those snarky type of comments, right? She tried to defend her comments when Sutton said it. Garcelle says that, well, somebody told me that you said that I should have never brought race up on this show because that's not what we're about. Why do I believe that Lisa did say something like that? Well, I'm sorry. I really do believe that Lisa did say that. And the actions that happened to follow up with that statement made me truly believe that Lisa did say that. Lisa says that she felt like Garcelle should have come to her and talked to her about it. Garcelle says that you don't come to me about everything, but everybody at this point is like, Garcelle, no, that's different, Garcelle. That's a bigger issue. Okay. So Lisa says Garcelle has it out for her and she wants to know why. Garcelle, I ain't got it out for you. Rinna yells at her because everybody just felt the need to yell at Miss Garcelle. Okay. Lisa yells at her and asks why she didn't come to her and ask her, Rinna, what are you doing? The fact that you said that for me was one confirmation. And I also feel like this, ma'am, why would she come to you to have your back and tell you what somebody said when you've displayed how you did not have her back throughout this season? So why would she come to you and then try and, nah, I wouldn't, girl, you ain't even got my back for real. I seen how you move. And now I know, and the fact that Garcelle was upset about it when she heard it, and she's known you long enough, I feel like she believed it because she knows how you are as a person. Right. So I didn't like that. And now that extraness about, can we move past this? Can we get all of that extra SHI? I feel like Lisa Rinna put that act on. It was performative because she was afraid of the backlash that she could possibly get because people may assume that she's racist or whatever the case may be. So that's why she did the most. I love you. You know I am. You know I care. Give me a hug. I'm just going to hold you tight and never let you go. And I was like, girl, what the fuck? No, ma'am. You did. Shout out to Mia Thornton over there with Real Housewives of Potomac. You did it, girl. I do not trust Lisa. And I believe everything that Garcelle said. Garcelle said, I'm not going to tell you who told me what, girl. That's for me to know and you to find out, and it won't be coming out of my mouth. Whatever you want to do with that, do what you will. I'm here for her with that. Lisa also wanted Garcelle to tell her that she didn't trust her, but Garcelle, like I told you, I felt like Garcelle did tell her this back when they were at that house. Lisa brings up Watch What Happens Live. Now, Lisa really mad. It was Lisa really pissed off about it. Garcelle had that Watch What Happens Live, and y'all know Miss Denise came up as a lot of past housewives always come up in conversation, and how Denise likely wants to come back to the show. But in order for that to happen, somebody would have to go, right? But I don't think that was Miss Garcelle saying that you should be fired. That's not, see, Lisa took that out of the way, but the reason Lisa really took that out of the way was because she was already feeling a way about Garcelle, right? So I don't think that's what Garcelle was saying. I think she was just saying what Lisa said. Now, Lisa's going to negotiate her contract however she negotiates. That's on her, okay? Garcelle wasn't saying you had to leave. She just telling what Denise said would have to happen, okay? So there's that. Lisa asked Garcelle why Garcelle reached out. And see, this is another one for me that believed that Lisa is full of SHI, and she lied. Because Garcelle, Lisa asked Garcelle, why did she reach out to her afterwards, talking about how she want to make things right? I said, you BIT. And Garcelle said, no. Okay, you reached out to me and told me that I threatened your job or something like that. So I'm like, yes, Garcelle. And did y'all hear Lisa? Lisa didn't really have a rebuttal to that. She kind of started nodding her head. See, Lisa was trying to make the story seem a certain way, and Garcelle had to check her and bring it back around and say, no, ma'am, that's not what happened. And because of that, as I see how Lisa sits and operates, Lisa Rinna is full of it. Your girl full of it. Garcelle was saying that Denise felt like she would only come back if Rinna left. Agreed. That's all Garcelle was saying. She wasn't saying that Miss Girl herself, she wasn't saying that Miss Girl should get fired herself. Garcelle is horrible at defending herself. All she could say was that she was relaying Denise's message. But no, Garcelle laughs and looks at Andy with you, said LR, tighten up, Garcelle. She does need to defend herself more. And now I feel like it's probably related to a lot of the ladies and how they came at her, which prevented her from, you know what I'm saying, being more vocal. But then now as I'm thinking, could it have been a lot with her childhood too, which shows up as to how she defends herself? Like, is this always how she is? Or is it because she's on this reality show and she's restricting herself? Because I think she also talked about her childhood and how she always had to be a certain way when she was growing up and all this other stuff. So I wonder if that may have something to do with how she goes about defending herself, which also makes sense why Adrian from The Real decided to chime in and give her 2 cents, right? Because I guess Garcelle's one of those people that's not going to go at you like that. But, you know, she got a friend like Adrian that'll defend her. Garcelle needs to tap into Black Girl Beast mode next season. Bring the person on the show that told her what Lisa said. Comfort Dorit's neck every chance you get. That would be interesting if she did bring that person on the show. Let me tell you something. Lisa would hate her. Lisa would hate her for sure. Lisa would hate this woman. Yes, she needs to pipe up. You can defend yourself and keep it professional at the same time. Exactly. She had, to me, a professional tone the entire time. So with that tone, I feel like she should have kept that tone and checked this girl. Like, you're not finna sit up here and talk to me like that. Andy, if this is what we're doing, I can go. I can go, baby. I don't have to be here for this, girl. I can be working, get myself together for my show tomorrow, girl. Let me see what y'all are saying. Unpopular opinion. I feel like her being on this show could be the first time in a long time that she experienced bigotry. Garcelle has to tap into her early days in Hollywood. Yeah. Yes, someone in the group told Garcelle what Lisa said, probably Sutton. Ooh, very interesting. Interesting. If somebody in the group said that, but then what if that person also was Denise? What if that person was also Miss Denise? Ooh, listen, I like that. If they brought that person onto the show, ooh, girl, I'm over here thinking how this would play out next season. Like, girl, if they brought that person onto the show that said that about Lisa, girl, ooh, baby, that will give Lisa a storyline though. That will give her something to go off of because she hasn't been giving us much to go off of at all. Look up Lisa Rinna and her issue with Star Jones. It got so ugly, lawyers got involved. Yes, Rinna is the big R. I'm gonna have to look that up. I didn't even know they had an issue. I did not know that. But it's something about, it's something about Lisa's energy, and I've never been in her presence. But just seeing her on the show is something about her energy that I just, Lisa is guilty with that fake crying, very guilty. And the extra guilt for me was her getting up from one couch to go to the other to hug on this lady and sit next to her. And what killed me was Garcelle sitting up there going along with it like, you got it. Got what? Got what? You got it. Got what? What does she have? Got what? Got what? To move forward with what? No, ma'am. You got it. No, ma'am. Let me see what else I got here. Lisa starts speaking on how much she loves Garcelle and goes over to hug Garcelle. As I already told you guys, Lisa is full of it. And she was doing all this performative stuff so that she would not be looked at as the big R, even though that's what we all kind of feel, okay? She has those undertones, all right? So Erika's telling Dorit, which was very awkward. Dorit said something to Erika about, I'm not talking to you right now. Then Erika said, shut up. I was like, yes, Erika, tell her to shut up. But what was that about? What was that about? What was this? What was y'all giving over there? What was that about? Kathy joins the stage. I know my good girl, Kathy, went ahead and joined the stage. Looked like somebody gonna make Miss Kathy cry. What is that about? I wonder if she's going to be crying about getting back on great terms with her sisters and stuff, and maybe, I don't know, the passing of her mom or something. I'm wondering what's going to be up there making Miss Kathy cry. Kyle speaks on breaking her nose in the Halloween movie, and I'm sitting up here like, girl, it must be from the stuff they edited out, because the way you was over there acting for 15 minutes, girl, I guess, honey, but like I told y'all on yesterday, when it comes to, movies and films and stuff, girl, they be there for long hours, and it's sad. They be filming all day, all night, only for 5 minutes to be a part of the show or the movie, girl. That's just how I go. All right. Now, Erika is asked about cheating, right? This is how the show ends. She's asked about cheating and says that she told Tom that if he wanted to leave, he can go. He can go. And when Andy said, well, what did he say? And she was like, oh, he said nothing. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I had to get something, y'all. I had to get something. But yeah, she said that he didn't answer her at all or whatever about him cheating, and she feeling like he needs to move on or whatever. So we're going to get more into that on the next episode, on the next reunion, to see how that's going to play out. I will say, I feel like so many things happened this episode that I kind of felt like, what else are we really going to be talking about in the coming weeks? Like, did this really deserve 4 parts? And if we're going to be grilling Erika for all 4 parts, I don't know. I hope I make it to the 4th one. Because I feel like, girl, can we be done with this? Can we be like, did y'all feel like that? Did y'all feel like y'all probably got enough in the reunion? But I mean, we still got to talk about Crystal and Sutton and their issue. We definitely got to talk about Erika and Kyle, right? What we learned, which was very interesting. I meant to tell y'all this. So listen, yesterday I came to y'all with a video on these Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I read an article for Reality Blurb about how Miss Crystal said that she was not worried about the situation going on with Miss Erika, right? She had no reason to be worried. But at the same time, she sat up there on the stage and said that she reached out to an attorney, but then tried to play it off and say, well, you know, I talk to my attorney all the time. Yeah, I talk to my attorney all the time. Everything's great. I talk to him all the time. You know, but I just had a few questions. And I'm like, well, now you got questions, but then you said in this other interview that you was never worried. So which one is it? See, now, Miss Crystal, as much as I liked you, girl, I got my eye on you. I'm probably going to give you a clean slate come next season because you probably will be returning. But I got my eye on you because something was very shaky. Something was very shaky about that, dear. All right. Lisa makes it very, very clear she is a hustler and will do anything for a paycheck. She even said she's never had a steady job for more than 3 years, and that is including Days of Our Lives. Harry should cuss his wife out for blasting him like that. Blasting him like what? About his sauce? Right, all the time for what? Crystal is a housewife. What does she do? Ooh. I don't even want to watch the other parts if Garcelle is going to continue to be gaslit. Which is why I feel like she wasn't opening up and being, you know what I'm saying, more honest about how she was feeling about stuff. Withholding things a bit. All them questions she says that she asked him and he always seemed to have nothing to say. B-I-N-A-T. B-I-N-A-T. If that ain't a fact, I don't know what is. If that right there is not a fact, all the questions she asked, and he always seems to have nothing to say. Not only nothing to say, but she always seems to bring us an unwanted story and then add more pieces to it. Girl, if you don't get 4 parts, oh no, ma'am. We better get that with Potomac. Listen, we should get 4 parts with Potomac. It's gonna be a whole drawn out dog mess here. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, Potomac, it's gonna be a whole dog mess, honey. But 4 parts, I do think they're deserving of 4 parts. And I've said this before, I feel like with Beverly Hills, a lot of the storyline existed with Erika, primarily, child. So, yeah. Garcelle needs a reading class. She needs to clap back at these women, not a reading class. Thoughts on Rinna saying Harry said Garcelle looks miserable. Oh, yes. And unhappy. I felt so icky and sick after watching that moment. Garcelle should have cussed out Harry. He could have said that, but then I'm wondering, Lisa, is that you really saying that, or you putting it off on your husband, girl? Which one is it? Okay. And I didn't think that she looks unhappy. But I will say, I feel like when she's amongst the ladies, she's not enthused to be around them. And I think it's because she feels like an outsider at the end of the day. So if you want to talk about me being unhappy, looking unhappy, or feeling miserable, I wish she would have said yes because of y'all. Because whenever I come around, I feel like there's an inner clique within a clique. And you know what I'm saying? Like I do feel like an outsider. So if ever I look that way and feel that way, it's because of y'all. And we come from different backgrounds, different makes. Yeah, we're all in entertainment for the moment, but we all grew up very, very differently. And make no mistakes about it, no matter how much you try to erase it. Girl, I'm black, you white. You know, and sometimes the conversations just don't be the same. I think a lot of black and white people can, you know, relate in conversation, hang out, and all that other great stuff. But then sometimes it's just not, it's not as easy. So I feel like all of that they be saying about her, like not opening up, I feel like that's twofold. Like y'all both got to be able to do that. It shouldn't just come from her direction. And just because you threw a party and gave her a little piece of cake, girl, and a few gifts, it should be more than that. Right? It should be more than that. But I mean, it's a two-way street, so we'll see. Lisa makes it. I think I read that one. Let me go down, see what you guys are saying down here. You think she looked bored? Maybe that's what it was. Girl, not allegedly, because that's all Erika was saying. I'm not sure if you've seen the first and second season of this franchise. You will see how, who is it, Kaylee or Katie was a different person. And in my opinion, the first and second season was the best season ever. I'll have to check it out. No, I haven't seen the first ones. No, for blasting him when Rinna said Harry doesn't know who you are anymore. And she looks sad. When Lisa said Harry said Garcelle has changed. Crystal married rich. That's what she did. Andy isn't going to let them go too hard on Garcelle. He close to losing his own job. Is that true? I don't see that happening. They done separated the whole Watch What Happens Live YouTube channel from Bravo channel just so Andy can have his own little channel or whatever. Girl, Andy ain't about to lose anything. I don't see him losing anything at all. And if he ain't gonna let them go so hard on Garcelle, he should have checked Dorit when she yelled at her. And then turned around and Lisa did the same thing. Nah, I think the person was Kyle who told her that because they showed Kyle's face when she asked who. Ooh. Embarrassing. That probably could have come up or something at some point. I don't know. I'm having a hard time believing that part. If it was Kyle, that would be interesting if it was. But I feel like Kyle and Miss Lisa still like this. Even when they like this, they still like this. That's what I think. I don't know. Hell, it could have been Crystal, child. Crystal could have overheard a conversation, honey. I don't think he owns the Real Housewives franchise, but I think he definitely has a stake in the company as far as Andy. I don't think he owns it, but I think he's one of like the executives or something. He definitely has a stake in it. I don't think he's like the ultimate decision maker. I think there's processes, but I do think he's in charge of the girls. What do you think of Dorit's explanation or excuse that she will give the public for yelling? Oh, I don't know. She may lie and say it was just the heat of the moment. I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong. You know, I don't know what her excuse is gonna be, but it's definitely gonna be an excuse. But that's if she even addresses it at all. She may not say anything and she just move along accordingly and just skip past. And she may not say nothing at all. Yes, Crystal owns Vita Coco. I don't know why she didn't mention that on the show. She was made to seem like all she does is throw parties and make her husband's schedule. Interesting. Maybe they'll introduce that into next season. And maybe I can see her probably not wanting to mention that a little bit based on going into her first season and not really knowing what's going to happen or how it's going to make her look. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's her business, like this show could have made or break her. Because she kind of said that in like an article, like not knowing what to expect. At times she considered, you know what I'm saying, maybe like quitting or whatever like that, just worried and stuff. So she probably withheld that, not sure of the response she was going to get from the audience. So I could see that. Because we could talk about her, but it ain't like nothing's going to happen with his business. He's very successful. He probably going to still be successful. And they probably got long money and still living off money from the 90s, child. You know, so I could see her withholding it for that reason. Lisa been a snake from her first season on the show. I don't understand why Garcelle trying to fight Denise battle. Very true. You know, she got to let it go. I thought that was weird for her to say, like, I have let it go. When did you let it go? Oh, I let it go just now. I'm like, just now? They don't even, I thought you been let it go. But okay. I definitely think she needs to let Denise battle be Denise battle. And now she just got a whole different issue with Miss Lisa. Because Lisa's definitely full of SHI. For sure. All the lies and BS Erika has said, the biggest for me is where am I going to go? She's got she's got book EJ performance. Oh, books EJ performance, Broadway and Bravo money, please. Facts, right? Facts. And even with that, she probably still has some extra money she could have took, like the 20 mil that he went over there and put in her account. Girl, you had money and places to go. It's talking about where was I gonna go? Well, you figured out where the hell you was gonna go when you finally made that decision to walk out on him. But you know what else was interesting when she said in the preview, saying she was crying, saying, why would you leave me with a lawsuit saying X, Y, Z? And I said, leave you? I thought you left him. And when I hear these things, it makes me feel like the divorce was all a part of this, because I feel like she divorced him based on his advisement to prevent her from having to became after, I guess, financially or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not adding up. I feel like this was a scheme that they came up with to come to us with the bullshit, for sure. I think that was all a plan. But listen, guys, I'm going to be hopping off because I'm getting ready for the Ooh Ladies First panel that will be over on Nene Dixon's channel, okay? We cover a lot of different great things for you guys, okay? So definitely check us out over there on Nene Dixon's channel. We'll be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Married at First Sight. We have a guest host today, Tissa Tales. She'll be over there hanging out with us today. So you guys make sure you set your alarms, okay? Go on over there, subscribe to Nene and all of the ladies of the Ooh Ladies First panel, because we definitely rotate on a weekly basis, all right, every Thursday. And these are all of the wonderful ladies here. So like I said, be sure to subscribe to all of our channels so that you can check us out every Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this live, and I'll see you guys on over there on Nene's channel, okay? So thank you. Bye-bye.